Fear paralyzes progress. Fear paralyzes progress. So I've been enjoying recently going on these big rants, whether that's in my journal or on Instagram or out loud or whatever. I'll go on these big rants, big like philosophical kind of um, unravelings, explorations, and then I let it percolate. And inevitably, after some passing of time and a bunch of other activities happening, or I'll sleep on it, um, a, a, uh, a catchphrase will pop into my head that just beautifully encapsulates the whole massive thing that I was talking about. Because as we've all established now, I can't stop talking once I start, and I really struggle to get my ideas into like a succinct package. And it's been nice lately that that's what's been happening. Like I'll go and I'll do my big thing, but then a catchphrase will pop into my head. But then of course I end up expanding on the catchphrase, so it's a catch-22. But the latest one is fear paralyzes progress. So this morning woke up to the news that, well, I mean, there's so many sides to every single story. I don't really want to get into it, but the Russia and Ukraine situation. My family is Russian, and I have a lot of extended family over in Russia at the moment. So aside from the fact that this is just an atrocity and it's deeply upsetting to watch it unfold no matter what, I do have somewhat of a connection to this as well. So please, 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 please do not think that I'm taking this lightly or not understanding the gravity of the situation. I'm also keenly aware of the potential ramifications for the rest of the world should this continue and escalate and things. So absolutely, and my heart goes out to the Ukrainians, anyone that's over there. I'm not taking it lightly, but this is sort of what this video, very much what this video is about, and what the meaning of this catchphrase is. So when I saw about what was going on, the first thing that came to mind was, well, yeah, of course we've got a global conflict or a potential global conflict happening now, right as the Shimona, the it that will not be named, is starting to fizzle out. That doesn't surprise me. A lot of people predicted this coming. It got me thinking about fear and how the media outlets are going to portray this as a real doomsday kind of scenario, and people are going to be glued to this the way they have been glued to the thing, the spiky thing, for the last 2 years. It's all designed to catch your attention, the way that they report on this. Like, yes, there is things happening, but it's exploitation of our senses, honestly. So anyway, I wrote this little spiel on Instagram earlier, and this spiel is then what the catchphrase, fear paralyzes progress, is related to. So I'm just going to read out the little spiel that I wrote earlier today. Oh great, next door's beagles barking. If you have heard beagles barking, you know how crazy making it is to live right across the road from one. Anyway, so here we go. If I learned nothing else from the clown show the last 2 years, it's that fear breeds fear. Fear is a powerful tool for control. Fear keeps people hooked into the news cycle. Fear clouds instincts, and fear divides and destabilizes. Nothing productive results from fear. The only solution I've found that fits for me right now is disconnecting altogether and only learning the most crucial information that pertains to my personal circumstances through mentors I respect and trust, and viewing anything else as white noise. Ultimately, I don't think that's a great balance either, but I know my mind, body, and soul no longer have the capacity / the bandwidth to seek out information for myself or to know all the details. This is my compromise. Living in fear cannot improve your circumstances. It cannot help those around you. Focus on what you can control. You. So that was my little spiel. And it percolated for a few hours, and I realized that I'd also missed a crucial point in the beginning there, is that fear paralyzes. And certainly that was the case for me the last 2 years, up until October of 2021. I was certainly engrossed in everything that was going on. I won't go into detail on what side of the fence I was, but I think if you've seen a couple of the videos, like right down the bottom there, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious where I stood on this. And it was the biggest part of my life for 2 years. Absolutely. Like everything else got put on hold. I was just, man, it was everything. Every waking minute, basically, I was researching, I was reading, I was watching, I was sharing, I was debating people, I was talking about it, and then over and over and over again. My life did not get any better for this at all. I was being hypervigilant because I saw a threat against not only myself, but everyone around me. I thought I was doing something to prevent that threat from ever coming to light. Or yeah, I thought I was playing my part, basically. I thought I was doing something productive in all of that. And what I realized come October, I had this massive mindset shift, and this is around the time I joined Sean Whalen's coaching group, The Lion's Den, and started focusing on myself. I started focusing on the things that I could control in my life, like the things in my immediate surroundings and things that would have a direct impact on my future, regardless of anything that was happening out in the world. I had realized throughout those 2 years that money equals freedom, right? Money is freedom. I didn't have any money. I'm still not flush with cash right now, but I'm now working towards it. But I didn't have any money, so I didn't have the option to leave this place. I didn't have the option to quit my job. I didn't have the option to seek medical advice outside of GPs. So exemption letters and things, that was out of the question. Gosh, like if something had happened to the food supply chain, I would have been shit out of luck. Like if anything had happened to power, to electricity, I wouldn't have, like, I can't afford a backup generator, you know, all these little things that you don't really think about when times are good and peachy. But money, yeah, God, money is so important. And then getting your house in order, as Sean always says. Money allows you to get your house in order. Money allows you to have backup plans and pack bug out bags and have, like, you know, however many months worth supply of food. And outside of all the prepper things, money gives you options. If I had more money, I would have had the option to get out of here and continue on with my life. And I wouldn't have gotten stuck in that news cycle, in that researching, sharing, debating thing. Not at all. If I had gotten out of Melbourne the moment that I felt like it's time, I have to get out of here, I would have gotten out, I would have shaken it off, and I would have gotten on with my life, just like everybody else in every other part of the country did. Cold? Yes, I know. Like, just abandon the situation and take your hands off it? Unfortunately, yes, that's what I would have done. And what I'm now understanding is that that's not entirely selfish. Me, little old me with no money and no resources to even help myself, what am I gonna do? I am one voice and that counts for something, but what am I tangibly gonna do to help anybody? However, if I focus on myself and I focus on getting my house in order and I focus on building wealth and I focus on getting myself healthy as possible and you know, bolstering everyone around me and all that sort of thing, well, that's something tangible. Some point down the line of consistently showing up for myself like that puts me in a position to then help other people. That puts me in a position to actually influence change. That's a position of power. And power, contrary to what some people would have you believe, Power is a fantastic resource to have, and not everybody uses power for bad. Power seems to be synonymous with these bad dudes, but nah. Without power, what have you got? And that's actually a little bit of a tangent, because that's not what I was going to expand on with that catchphrase. I've gone a lot further than what I was intending to. So all I was going to say that is, if you put your head down and you just focus on what's immediately in front of you. So yes, we've got now this huge global potential global conflict. Like, there is scary stuff happening out in the world right now. 100%. So you could sit there and you could focus on the news and stay up to the minute and try and understand all the players involved and this and that and the other and the geopolitical ramifications and stuff. But can you do anything about it? Is it affecting your life right now? Odds are it's not. So yeah, be mindful of it. I mean, for me, I physically, like, as we've heard in the last couple of videos, like, my brain can't. I physically, mentally, spiritually, all these things, I cannot be hooked into these things anymore. I can get this stuff secondhand from people I trust and rely on, and kind of be semi-informed of at least the crucial aspects. But I can't go and actually seek this stuff out for myself right now. I will get lost down rabbit holes. I will get so emotional. I mean, even the little snippets of stuff that I looked at today, I felt the adrenaline coming on, the fight or flight. And that's what I was stuck in for 2 whole years with the C word. Like, 2 years of never, ever, ever, ever being out of fight or flight. No wonder my brain broke eventually, right? Even though I took a big long break, and focused on myself, like, the rubber band was stretched pretty far. So you could do that. You could absolutely do that and have plenty to talk about at the office. But where's that getting you? Like, all those minutes and hours spent on that, you're not working on yourself. You're not improving anything in your life. If you are, it's incremental change. You don't have as much mental bandwidth or energy to devote to it. But if instead you focus on your goals and your family and your health and building wealth and all these sorts of things, if you're just putting your head down, controlling the things that are immediately affecting you right now, and focusing, just focus on what's right in front of you, well, not only are you going to be in a way better position in a couple of years' time when inevitably things blow over, let's hope. Oh man, no, I can't make claims like that or anything. Who knows what's coming? But more, it's just how many times in world history and recent history has there been kind of doomsday predictions, and then it's all blown over, and like, most of us have been at a standstill the whole time that's been in the news cycle, and then it's just nothing. It's happened a lot. So perhaps the thing you're concerned about is not going to happen at all, and then you've just wasted so much time and energy and put so much toxic negativity and like fear and stuff like into your psyche, and that's not doing you or anybody around you any favors, or the world. Vibes are real, man. Vibes are legit. Where was I? I got distracted by vibes, because vibes are a very exciting topic. Fuck. So yeah, you could do all that. You could fill your head with all that stuff that isn't helping you or isn't progressing you at all. And then if the thing you're concerned about doesn't even come to pass, what a waste of time. What have you done with your time? So that's like the best case scenario, right? That you've just wasted your time and you're no better off than you were before this thing started, and before the media and the hype and everybody fighting like cats and dogs about it sucked you into it. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is that the thing that you're concerned about actually becomes the thing in front of you. So right now, I'm saying focus on the things that are immediately in front of you, and a lot of those are hopefully positive things. Maybe they're negative things and you need to try and fix those or work on those, get rid of those, whatever. Yeah, and that thing isn't actually directly in front of you. You just feel like it is because the media is really good at making it feel like it is, but it's not. But worst case scenario, that thing actually does become the thing that's in front of you, does become the thing that you need to focus on for your survival. It's possible. If you put your head down and work towards the things that are important to you and work towards progressing yourself and improving your life and the lives of the people around you, but more importantly, just work on yourself, right? If that thing does present itself in front of you, you're going to be in a far better position to actually deal with it. You're going to have more resources. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more stamina. You're going to have more, people around you, and you're gonna be better. You're just going to be better prepared overall. And that just makes so much more sense as a strategy. And this is just, a lot of this is just me speaking to my past self. Like, having experienced what I've experienced since last October, having seen the tangible outcomes of just putting my head down, completely dismissing anything that's going out there, all the noise, and just focusing on myself, and having seen how much that's propelled me forward. And yes, unfortunately, I have had a massive breakdown. And so I don't have anything really, I don't have anything financially to show for it, let's just say. But I have built such good foundations to where now that I'm starting to feel a bit more like myself, work's going back again next week, so might be eating my words in a couple of days. But anyway, now that I'm feeling more like myself, I have these foundations that I continue to build on. And I'm feeling really good about it, feeling really optimistic that, just knock on wood, I get enough time of this dedicated, focused time to where, like, yeah, it looks like things are going to get messier and messier for quite a long time. I'm just praying that I get enough time with this mindset that I can build up enough that I can get through it. I can get through it relatively unscathed. Don't have a crystal ball, don't know. All I know is that I can control that at least. I can at least control working towards that, and then whatever the timeline is whatever the timeline is. But no matter what, I'll be in better shape in all ways than where I am sitting today. With this mindset, every single day I aim to be in slightly better shape for anything that might happen. And that feels so much more empowering than what the last 2 years was for me, where I was kicking and screaming against everything that was happening because I was so scared that my life was going to be affected. And all that time, I could have just been focusing on making my life impervious to that. I'd be in such a better position right now if that's what I had done. But hey, that's never happened to me in my lifetime. Something like that's never happened to us in most of our lifetimes. So I acted the way I acted. And I absolutely hands down forgive myself for that because I couldn't have known any better. That no one was prepared for that, and we were all coming from completely different places with it, and we had to learn and adapt throughout, right? And it's still like, I'm in Melbourne. It's chilled out for the most part. I barely leave my house now. But yeah, people, this is still a big deal. This is still a thing, and I'm still in a position where I could lose my job over this. I haven't yet. And I probably shouldn't be saying these things out loud. But like it's everything that was a threat over the last 2 years, it still remains a threat. The difference is that now I've just understood that me kicking and screaming and yelling about it it changes nothing. It changes nothing. It doesn't affect or influence anything that the powers that be are doing. And potentially it's giving them more fuel. Potentially it's giving them more intel on how to best best play this thing. I'm definitely giving myself away here, aren't I? Anyway, whole other story. But yeah, like nothing's changed on on the face of the things that I was feeling threatened by and in the grips of fear by. That's not changed. But up here has. Up here has, and this is a much, much, much more productive mindset, I suppose. Yeah, like I'm already, like, even though I haven't really financially gotten ahead in this time, I've built these foundations to where, like, hey, if I lose my job in a couple of months over mandates, I'll at least have two businesses that are in various forms of various stages of beginning. Like, I'll at least have something to work with. I won't be starting from scratch. That's not the same as having my own ranch in the middle of nowhere with, totally self-sufficient kind of property. And that's the dream. That's what I'm working towards, ranch life. Yeah, it's not that, but it's better than where I was a year ago, right? So that's my 2 cents. I know I'm not really someone that can talk from a place of having done it yet, but even the small amount that I've done and what I'm seeing from my mentors and the people that I look up to, this makes sense. This makes sense. Don't get stuck. Don't buy into what they want you to buy into. Like, yeah, it's good to be aware. It's good to be aware, whatever way that is comfortable for you to be aware. And if it's something that you're genuinely interested in and like genuinely excited about, sick, go for it. We need people like you. How would us I don't know what to even call myself, like schlubs. I'm not a schlub. What am I? I don't know. I'm not, this isn't something that's an area of interest for me. It's not something that my head just like latches onto as a topic of interest, you know? We need people like you to disseminate this information for people like me. So yeah, if you're a super, like, genuinely is an interest for you, it genuinely lights you up to read about this stuff and you love making these connections, and then of course. But if you're motivated by fear, if you're reading everything and watching everything and listening to everything and talking to everyone about it from a place of needing to know, if from a place of wanting to be like 2 steps ahead, and like, that's not serving you at all, and it's not serving anybody around you at all. And think about it, you have now paralyzed yourself in this space of needing to know every single little detail about this thing. So that threat that's in front of you, that's all that exists in your world. I mean, you might have some stuff on the peripheral, you might take some breaks, but admit it, like, it's taking over. I've been there. So yeah, obviously I spoke specifics at the top of this, but this could apply to so many situations, and God, clearly we're going to be seeing a lot more of this in our lifetime. So you gotta build up that discernment. You gotta just build up that, like, yeah, put the blinkers on. There's important stuff in front of you. The only thing you can control is you at the end of the day. So focus on that. And Jordan Peterson talks about it all the time, and it's dead set true. Like, the best thing you can do for the world is get yourself right. Because if you get yourself right, that puts you in a position to help other people. If you're not right, you're not helping anybody. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Makes all the sense. Fear paralyzes progress. Nearly forgot that one. Fear paralyzes progress. So, yeah. If you're getting tempted to get sucked into that stuff, and it's not a genuine interest to you, stay safe out there, everybody, though. Like, nonetheless, it's a scary thing that's going on. Just don't get sucked into it. If it's at your door, it's at your door, and then you deal with it. But if it's not at your door, then you've got more important things to deal with, friend.